Welcome back, dividend and value investors. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I am European dividend growth investor. In today's video, I would like to share my results after 1 year of investing according to Joel Greenblatt's magical formula investing, which he described in his iconic book, The Little Book That Beats the Market. So we will look at my actual performance from this year and how it compares benchmarked to the S&P 500. I will also show you how I selected the next 50 stocks for the upcoming year and that it's actually possible with one of our European brokers. But before we go into the results, let's do a quick recap on what Magic Formula Investing actually is about. So guys, Magic Formula Investing is really a value investing process, but fully automated based on a single formula. The idea is that it takes out the emotion from investing and that you don't touch it at all during the year. So why does it make it a value investing formula? Well, simple. It's the high earnings yield, and here you need to think about the inversion of, for instance, a price to earnings multiple. For instance, an earnings yield of 6 or 7 or maybe even 10%. These are the profits divided by the share price. That makes up the high earnings yield. And you want this to be as high as possible. The second part of it is actually growth related, because the high return on capital means like for every dollar the company invests in the company, they get, for instance, $1.20 back out of it. So here you look really at companies that, for instance, have a 20% return on capital or more. So this really tells you whether the company is investing wisely and whether it's growing their business. This, guys, in a nutshell, is what Magic Formula Investing is about. So guys, let's have a look then at how my Magic Formula really performed since the last year, since 1 September 2021. As you can see, I invested at the time 10,000 zloty. What is important here, you see here 10,200 zloty invested because there's also the dividend reinvestments. There's currently also 77.96 zloty in this pie as cash. So overall, you can see that I made a little bit of a loss, 2.97%. Hey, that doesn't look too bad, right? Because if we go to the S&P 500 index, how it performed in a single year is minus 13%. So guys, I've been beating the S&P 500 by 13% almost, or let's say 10%. But honestly, that would be a big lie, because look what happened in the meantime. The US dollar 1 year ago was 3 zloty and 80 cents. Currently, it's 4 zloty and 74 cents. This is really like, I believe, a 25%, 24.4% difference. So if you think about like that, actually, and we go back to the S&P 500, I have been probably underperforming the S&P 500 by about 10%. The only reason why it's still around 10,000 zloty, which is equivalent of 2,200 euro, is simply because of the US dollar / Polish zloty currency exchange. So really, guys, I underperformed this year the market. It's what they say that typically the Magic Formula also underperforms a little bit during bear markets. And yeah, I think this is good evidence of that. So in itself, I don't think it's a too bad result, but of course, I'm doing this from a total return point of view. So I really want to, beat the S&P 500. Now, let's look a little bit in my pie that I created here. It was an equally weighted pie, right? So 10,000 zloty divided by 30, and each and everyone got its own piece. Now, here you can actually see the target, 2%, 2%, and you see that some of these grew. So Gilead Sciences, Hewlett Packard, they performed well in this portfolio. But if I scroll down a little bit, right, we see here Co-Diagnostics got really hammered, 64% down. Delisted here. I believe there happened something with it, acquired or something like that. But anyway, maybe even bankrupt. I really need to look it up. But here also, Waiter Holdings, 75% down, 38% down here from Big Five Sporting Goods. But on the other end, H&R Block, it's really pulling my performance out. Currently 443 zloty, and even more Catalyst Pharmaceuticals. It's now 6.3% of the weighting. And I mean, this is the big surprise for me. There are many losers in this pie, but few winners are really carrying the performance. And, this is always what they say, let your runners run, or if you buy 20 stocks, only 2 or 3 need to be successful. I mean, here, Bitnile Holdings, 86% down. Surface Oncology, 74% down. my portfolio got really slaughtered in some areas, or my pie here. So all in all, I'm really surprised still with this performance, because if you think about it, minus 25%, let's take this as an example. It could have been so much worse if it weren't for those 2-3 companies here that have been outperforming in my pie. So Voyager, Sega, and the 2 I just mentioned. So, you know, this shouldn't come as a surprise in itself, right? That there would be outperformance from few. I guess maybe I could have done more due diligence on some of those stocks, that they have really weak balance sheets or something like that, because that's also the weakness in this magic formula. But okay, hey, it is a test for me. 10,000 zloty I put in. Just due to the currency exchange, I kind of made it break even. So what I will do now is, and by the way, I had 50 holdings in here, HT2%, sorry, I made a mistake earlier with 30 holdings. So what I will do now, I will just sell everything here, and I will buy my next 50 holdings and do it for another year. I like this too much to follow. It's a little bit of, you know, play money for me, and I find it a really, really interesting thesis. So let me sell it, and then let's look into the other 50 that we want to buy right now. Okay, guys, so what I will do now, I will sell the whole pie. I had to actually take out this delisted stock from this pie, otherwise I can't sell, and I will now just sell everything. And what I would like you to know is here, if I withdraw funds, right, and you can see here 9,958 zloty and 62 cents. I want to show you also, like, although this is 0 fees, that this is going to cost me money. Probably I will receive 9,850 or something like that, because there's a spread in the market and I will not benefit from that. So I will confirm my sell here. And you will soon quickly see that it's going to sell everything. But I will not have really the same cash account based as what I just had. This is the thing with free trades and these pies and such, but in the long term, for me, it doesn't really matter, because it's quite neglectable unless you really start to measure it from a compounding point of view, if you would do a lot of sale and acquisitions over a year. But I'm not doing that. I'm typically buying and investing every month a little bit in my Euro Noble 30 pie, except for what I'm here doing as kind of a playing. So guys, in the meanwhile, let's go back to the Magic Formula investing website. So what I've done, I've logged into this website. You can easily register, it doesn't cost anything. And on the stock screener, we can actually figure out which 50 stocks we want to put in the pie for the upcoming year. So in last year, I believe I had 250 or 300 million as a market cap, but I really would like to prefer more blue chip stocks. It's also, when I look at what I had now, a lot of shit stocks in there with really small market cap, biotech and such. I will not filter them out here if they are in there, but I believe a minimum market cap of 5 billion is more for me, fits my style more. So this is what I'm going to put in my Magic Formula investing pie in the upcoming year. So if we look here, actually we see already much more familiar stocks. AbbVie, Altria as an example, Applied Materials, Best Buy, Block H&R, Capri Holdings, Cisco, Dick's Sporting Goods again, eBay, so Gilead Sciences again, HP Inc. This looks much better, right? Levi, interesting one. Lem Research, so we're looking here also now in the chip industry. Omnicom, Pfizer, Qualcomm. So this will be my set for the upcoming year. I have a feeling that this will really fit me better to do it. It's all based on the second quarter data here. So it's the latest data that we have. We're just all after the earnings. So yeah, I'm going to compile the new pie with this one. So, you know, give me some time. I hope I still make it before the market closes. I have still 25 minutes. I cannot do anything until the last stock has been sold. So yeah, I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, there's still one stock that doesn't want to sell. I do that on another day, but I have compiled the new pile now. You can see all the 50 stocks in there that I just showed you as well are all in here with an allocation of 2%. And the little stock that is removed by Franklin Wireless, I will sell that on another day. The market is almost going to close, so I'm going to buy here. But what you can see here actually is that if you look at the overview here, I've got now 9,860 zloty in cash, right? So you can see there has been a little bit of a difference here still. I cannot, for instance, invest now the full 10,000. I will work with this. I mean, it needs to accumulate over time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invest this money, 9,860 zloty, back into the pie, in the new pie that we have created, and hopefully it will start outperforming the market, of course, in the upcoming 12 months. So let's invest here everything and see how it goes. We want to invest everything. So fund distribution by targets, confirm, buy. So by the way, guys, if you want to do something similar here, as I've been doing, and by the way, it also took the available cash 860 zloty I see now, which I had from Dividend still coming out of the Noble 30. They were not reinvested yet in the Trading 212 app. That's fine. It's really my play money here. But what I actually want to say, if you also would like to do this, and you would, for instance, also like to create your own pies, you have seen it a little bit in action now. It's a European broker, I believe, based in London. I'll put a link also in the description of this video. If you open an account, you and I both will get a share for free up to 100 euros. Sometimes it's just 10 euros or 15 euros. Other time I had Starbucks for $90. So, I mean, we always get something. So if you're interested in it, follow it here in the description below and you can open it. It goes really, really quickly. So guys, it's invested now. As you can see, we can look at the holdings. Everything has been investing, everything nicely, around 214 zloty each share. And yeah, now it's just waiting, right? In a year from now, we will see how this is going to do. Honestly, compared to how I did it last year, and that's maybe one of my learnings, having a lot of shit stocks in there, so, sorry for my wording, with stocks that were really still like in the early days, think about the biotech companies. Those are all now kind of washed out by increasing also the entry criteria of 5 billion market cap as a minimum. You can see it already, much more blue chip companies in here. So I don't know if this will do better for me or not, but honestly, I just feel a little bit better with this. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Not sure if you're doing this as well, but please share your thoughts about this kind of investing in the comments below. If you are rather interested in some dividend stocks, then check out the video on the left. And if you would like to learn more about the power of slow compounders, then check the video on the right. Adios amigos. See you next time.